Good evening, everyone. Well, it worked better if I unmuted myself, but want to say welcome to everybody to first edition of the Focus. After in the midst of this crisis right now, you can see we're all at home like we're supposed to be. But happy to have Octavia Wyatt here, Cardell Dudley Jr. We got Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpey Jr. Look, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Gonna get to this NFL mock draft. Cardell is gonna go ahead and move us through that. But we got the debut of another issue. Cardell, what's going on this time in Finance Magazine?
With this issue, we just season war time, man. Time to crown and recognize all the top players from the high school level and college level, boys and girls side, men's and women's side, and just giving recognition for what they did all season. The season was cut short, unfortunately. But I'm gonna have it up on my website, finestmag.com. Like I said, I have a player of the year for high school boys and girls as a first team honorable mention. Scoring champion, defensive player of the year, freshman of the year, most improved, and then I go to the college side, do the same thing with the men's and women's defensive player of the year, most improved, scoring champ, the whole nine. And I just wanted to, this time I expanded a little bit more. Normally I was kind of focused on D&D players, but I wanted to expand more since we saw a lot of national teams. They definitely came to the area and we got a chance to see them. So I expanded more into the national teams as well. So definitely get over to Finest Mag, check it out. And I know I've been getting a little feedback already, so I'm ready for it.
Hey, man.
I always got something to say.
Hey.
It's all good. So I'm waiting on the feedback. But yeah, definitely after the show, it'll be up on the website. Read it, check it out, and share it if you like.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, Cardell's gonna get us going on his mock draft. Man, my head hurts. I think this is the first spreadsheet I've been made in like 5 years. And some of y'all teams, I don't know how to help y'all. I didn't know what to do. I thought about conventional wisdom. I thought about what makes sense. Then I thought about reality. Some of y'all are doomed no matter what happens. So I hate to be that person. Bad teams do bad things. You're watching the Focus TV. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Focus TV. Cardell, the floor is yours, sir. I'll go ahead and mind my business and look at my little draft board over here. Try to put the hat on of these respective teams. I can't wait till pick 21.
Hey man, just give Nate some help, man.
Nate's what was on my mind when I was making their pick. I was trying to make sure that Peterson got the right thing.
I need y'all to change y'all mindset. Okay?
Starting this early, huh?
Look, man.
I mean, dang, it's only what 8:05.
Hey, records are made to be broken.
Not this one.
All right, Cardell.
All right, man. We're gonna get started with the Focus 2020 NFL mock draft. Cincinnati Bengals, y'all on the clock. Y'all got 1 minute. Y'all done it. Let me know, and then get started.
Nobody wants to speak first. I jump out there. Okay. With the first pick in the 2020 NFL Focus mock draft, the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh man, they're just gonna do what makes sense. You're gonna take Joe Burrow. You don't have a quarterback. I don't think this is a really hard decision here. You just went through years with Mr. Dalton. Things didn't go that well during that time. Not to be mean, just
explain that much. Like it's be simple.
You know what? I'm trying to be nice though, but go ahead. You're right though. Go ahead, Ray.
What I put on my sheet: number 1, Bengals, Joe Burrow, QB, LSU.
I don't even think I wrote that much. I think I did for Joe Burrow.
All right.
All right.
Joe Burrow, it is unanimous. All right, with the second pick, the Washington football team is up. What do y'all got? Go ahead, Octavia.
I'm gonna say what they should say, which is Chase Young. It's just a no-brainer to me. I mean, some of the stuff that I've been reading, thinking that they're looking maybe towards another quarterback, but I think that they need to let Haskins have a chance to be what they want him to be. So I think they'd be crazy not to pick Chase Young, defensive end from Ohio State.
All right, Raymond.
Yeah, I agree. I got Chase Young at this spot as well. Again, like this is a pretty obvious one here. I mean, you could get another QB and continue to run your organization in chaos, but we're gonna hope that level heads prevail here and take Chase Young at this spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Chase Young. I think sometimes when, you know, especially like fans, Redskin fans are hilarious at this time, kind of even entertaining some of these jokes with like the stories of the number 2 pick being moved. Like, I want to say welcome to like the beginning of having a functional franchise, because this is the crazy stuff that's said when there's, you don't want that. I don't care either way. This is the stuff like spitballing about the number 2 pick being traded, at least to me, reads like the stuff that people don't have actual sources in that building. So you just start saying anything, right? And it doesn't, it just makes sense, right? We watched 2 teams get to the Super Bowl last year, one via way of their defensive line, and the other team had some talent on their defensive line too. The Redskins, even through their bumbling and fumbling to this point, that defensive line room is talented. It is juiced up. Like literally, this is your final infinity stone to having a top defensive line in the NFL. Literally, like just like just enjoy it. And then the other thing in that division, nobody else in that division has a defense. Nobody else in that division has a defensive line like that. They got pieces, but they don't have the, you know, they don't have the juice at every position across the board. You're in a position where, think about all the Bama boys they got on that line: Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. You got Ioannidis. You just got Tez Sweat, which whatever the last dude was doing had this boy dropping in the coverage, which you got 6'6", 2 whatever, super skinny. The boy just wants to go fast. You put him on one end, you put Chase on the other. You enjoy your life. They literally got a 9-man rotation right now. It's just not that difficult. You take Chase, you enjoy things. And oh, my bad. My last thing was I saw people going crazy with the Kyle Allen signing or trade for the Redskins. So Kyle Allen knows the offense. That's it, guys. Relax.
This is a question for all y'all.
Yep.
Y'all obviously the pass rusher, but what else does Chase Young if they select? What else would he really bring to the Washington team that most people are not looking for or expect?
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, him coming off the edge is obviously his most desirable attribute. But what I think he brings, he's a heady player. Like he's a freak, obviously, but I don't think he always completely relies on that. I think he'll be able to adjust to the NFL game and not just kind of bulldoze people. I think that'll be a surprise for most folks because people just expect him to come off the end and wreak havoc, which he will do. But I think he'll be an asset in other areas as well.
I agree, but I think that what he'll bring is just. I feel like nobody really fears the Redskin defense. At least it'll be some type of like it'll let offensive think twice when they play against them on the defensive end. Just to have somebody of that type of stature and a freakishly athletic person that you have to account for, because I don't really feel like the Redskins have had that for a while. So I think that'll be one of another thing they'll bring to them.
Similar to what Bosa did for San Fran last year, they're really technically sound. I forget the name of their D-line coach at Ohio State, but the man is outstanding. They come in like it's graduate level pass rushing, right? So it's not the type of thing where it's, you know, traditionally we're just like, oh, player X is a freak of nature. They're going to rush the passer, right? These are dudes that are coming in with plans. I remember reading in training camp last year, Joe Staley was getting handled by Bosa. Bosa's just fresh out of college. Kid had a plan, you know, and obviously I'm not saying him and Chase are the same person, but I do think for the Redskins, both the Niners, they're going to bring similar things in regard that you have to identify them, you have to account for them. And the other thing is when you spent draft capital up front, it's going to unlock things for the other guys. Now your interior pass rushers. Are you really going to double team the defensive tackles when you're worried about the dudes off the edge? You got to pick one.
Okay. Moving on with the third pick, the Detroit Lions are up. You select. Oh, you right.
All right, I got the Lions taking Jeff Okudah from Ohio State with this pick. They need to find somebody to fill that spot that Darius Slade has left. So and he's the best cornerback in the draft. So I just expect them to go. Best player available while fitting a great lead here. So I got Jeff Okudah going off the board at number 3.
All right, Wilson.
Same here, Jeff Okudah. You just got rid of Slay, like Raymond said. It's kind of a big hole. Might as well fill it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Right.
My bad. But no, I agree because that's a big hole to fill. So that's naturally the number one thing that they have to fix on the defensive side. So, like you said, you have to go for the top person that's available. So yeah.
Okay, and with the full pick, the New York Giants are up. They have a lot of needs. So, you want to start with you, Wilson?
All right, so I know everyone's like, "Ooh, Isaiah Simmons, big flashy toy, put it there." All right, so anyone who knows me knows I'm not a fan of their general manager. I think he's really bad at his job. He broke the Carolina Panthers. He's on his way to breaking things in New York. That said, one of the few things I do agree with Dave Gettleman is that you do win up front. And that's why I don't think they're going to take Isaiah Simmons. I think you take one of those tackles there, the offensive lineman. My pick was Jedrick Willis out of Alabama. You need someone to protect who you deemed your franchise guy under center.
I was similar with like when you said that they need somebody that's going to be able to protect the line because to me that's the biggest thing for them. Well, even though like we've already said they have plenty of issues to deal with, but I just went the opposite way on the offensive back, so I want Christian Worth.
All right, Ryan.
We all on the kind of the same wavelength here. I went with Tristan Wirfs as well at number 4. Just like everybody else did. A lot of needs, but the main thing is you got to protect Daniel Jones and give Saquon some room to operate too. So,
all right, with the 5th pick. Okay, with the 5th pick, Miami Dolphins up. I'll tell you, you go ahead and take this.
So I think Miami is in need of a quarterback. Even I feel like most of the teams in the top always need a lot of help different places. But I think for them, Tua, and I'm not going to say his last name because I never say it right, so we're not even going to go there. Yeah, him. I just think that they need to find their franchise quarterback. I feel like they've been looking around for a while, and they just need to go ahead and see if it'll work out. And I think because they have said he is ahead of schedule, I know he's very accident or injury prone, and that's probably one of the biggest concerns around him. But I think if he's healthy, he'd be a good fit for them.
Okay. Raymond?
Yeah, I went Tua Tagovailoa.
Better than me.
But yeah, I mean, this is another no-brainer right here. I mean, if this guy's fully healthy, he's probably not around the 5 anyway. So, I mean, and they're in desperate need of this position, the most important position. So, yeah, they go ahead and snatch them off the board right here at number 5.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think this is simple. I feel like they did a really classy tank job last year in Miami. Like I'm serious.
classy as the team.
I think it was. So like there was more than a few games where they were leading at the half, and it felt like somebody hit the button and was like, hey, we gotta secure the bag. We gotta secure the bag, right?
Walk it back. Walk it back.
Hey, chill out just a little bit.
What are,
Hey,
what are we doing here?
like
We're not
somebody,
winning games until 2020.
man, somebody hit the button. They got in Coach Flores' ear like, hey, bro, slow down. We know you can coach. Fall back a little bit. We gotta secure the bag. And then we saw all the money they spent defensively, right? Through the big bag at Byron Jones, which, not trying to be mean, I think he's the second best corner on that team. But you know, 'tis what it is. You get two expensive corners, gonna play the style you want, spend some money on the front seven and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, I think Tua is a legit option. Devontae Parker has to probably be very excited because he showed out a little bit last year. And you get a chance, like, you know, that's the biggest thing is we've seen the past couple of years. You get your guy under center, that's all it is. And we all know about the injuries, but it's like you waited a whole season, right? If you gotta wait 5-6 weeks, worst case scenario for him to play, I think you'll get over it for if you have him for the next 10 years.
Okay. The 6th pick, Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, the whole Phillip Rivers. What do you guys go with it?
I got them going QB here. Justin Herbert out of Oregon. I feel like for them to get a better quarterback than him, they will have to trade up, which I don't think really they should do at this point. I mean, he's a pretty solid pick right here, and they just got Tyrod Taylor too, kind of bridge the gap to hold the ship steady until he's ready to go ahead and take the reins.
Okay.
I agree. I also had Justin Herbert with Phillip Rivers leaving and going to Indianapolis. It leaves a big hole, especially with him being there as long as he's been. He's been the only quarterback there for years, at this point. So it's going to be a big focus for them to be able to bring somebody in. And I think that, a 6'6" quarterback in Justin Herbert would be a good fit, at least starting out.
All right, so I kind of went a little different here. I think they're going to go ahead and so I think they're gonna go ahead and rock with Tyrod Taylor. Some of the staff that's there in Los Angeles, which it's weird saying that now. That's in Los Angeles. Man, so weird.
It's not the only thing that's more from
Right. It's so weird saying it, but for the Chargers, like some of that staff that was in place for the Bills when Tyrod was there and he had some success. I think you don't have to reach for a quarterback right now. I think the gap right now between Burrow and, no disrespect to Hebert, I think this may be a round too early for him. Go ahead and protect your guy up front. Even if Tyrod, like you said, Ray is the bridge guy. If he is the bridge guy until you get your guy, why not go ahead and make sure they're protected? They made the trade. I think they traded Russell Okung. So, yeah, go get you a left tackle. My choice was Mekhi Benton out of Louisville.
Okay. With the 7th pick, Carolina Panthers. Obviously, the end of an era. Cam Newton's gone. Start with Octavius. You want to take this one?
Well, I mean, I know Cam's gone, but I still wait. First before I start, because I worked all these days, so I missed it. You said Kyle Allen left, right?
Yeah, he's on the Skins.
Yeah, I heard that. So I think I didn't realize that before I did this because they probably really do need a quarterback at this point.
Nah, they got Bridge. They got Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tripping. I knew that already.
They got the bread. You're good.
I'm tripping. I knew that already. All right, back to my regular scheduled program. So since they're, end of the era Cam, Bridgewater is a great replacement. Like, he's been doing well and he's been proving why he should be, a starting quarterback. But I think they need to focus on their defense as well, because I feel like outside of their offense, outside of getting a quarterback now, Run CMC, he does everything. They're not really too worried about it, although I'm sure there's still pieces that they're trying to get together as well. I think they need to look into a defensive tackle, so I went with Derrick Brown from Auburn.
Okay. Raymond?
And this pick is gonna make Wilson laugh. They had an end of the era on the offensive side with Cannon, and then also had the end of the era on the defensive side with Luke Kuechly leaving.
Yeah.
I think they go ahead and get Isaiah Simmons right here.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. I want Octavia.
Jack quickly left.
Yeah. No more Luke, no more Cam, no more Greg Olsen. Things is different in Carolina. After giving Shaq Thompson the bag, that's the reason I didn't necessarily go linebacker there. I feel like they're gonna try to give Shaq a chance to play, fill Luke's shoes to a degree. So I'm going with Derrick Brown with Octavia. You can never, just how we were talking about with the Redskins, you can never have enough up front. I know they had Gerald McCoy last year. I know he's a free agent if he hasn't signed already. So, I'm with Derrick Brown. I'm in agreement with Octavia here.
Okay. Then you pick, the Arizona Cardinals. A lot of upgrades, especially on the offensive side.
Don't we know?
Yeah, we need to look. Go ahead, Marty.
So like you mentioned with their upgrades on offense, and they just drafted what seems to be their franchise quarterback last year. And I think he's somebody to protect them. I got him going Jedrick Willis right here, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Okay, Wilson.
All right, same idea, same position, different name for me. I got Tristan Wirfs coming off the board here.
Okay. Octavia.
Same idea, different person. I put Andrew Thomas in Georgia.
All right.
Okay. The thing about the Cardinals, they rank 35th in defensive efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all still think the more glaring need is on offense? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I go ahead, Octavia.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Definitely, the defense is an issue, but like Raymond said as well, like with you guys having Kyler Murray and he's supposed to be the franchise at this point, like they need to start off by making sure he's protected. And I think that's what they're starting to do. Make sure he's protected, and then they're giving him different weapons to be able to use. Because you saw glimpses of him being really, really good last year. And I think that they're trying to have him buy in, like, look, we're doing all of this for you first. And then they're going to, they have to focus on the defense. But again, with all these teams this time in the draft, they have multiple issues.
Yeah. As annoying as they were last year, I think some of the times the games that they lost, like their defense would have them, they make enough stops for them to be up, but then they just couldn't protect Kyler. And then almost all the bad stuff happened because they couldn't protect Kyler. Like all the bad stuff happened. Because they had my team down a couple times. They had the Seahawks. They had everybody in that division on the ropes at least once this year. But the way that those teams rallied in those games, because they stopped that offense. And obviously no defense can hold on forever, but man, that offense is so scary. If that boy could get protected, I hate it, but Lord, it's annoying. They're annoying. They are annoying.
Okay.
So annoying.
With the 9 pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars up, they default on both ends. They rank 26 on both sides, so they need help. A lot of it. So obviously Wilson, who you select for this game?
In true Jacksonville Jaguar fashion, I think they're going to try to make up for everybody they either pissed off or let go. They're going to take Isaiah Simmons because he's a freak of nature. It's going to remind you of some of those people they lost. And I also don't think they're going to have a plan in place for Isaiah Simmons once they draft him. But that's who I have them taking.
I think that, yes, they are going to try to repair different relationships or bring in people that they lost, bring in people to positions that they lost. One key being Jalen Ramsey. So I think that they are going to go after a cornerback. And I got Jeffrey Okuda at that point.
Okay. Right.
I think the hold up with the time-honored Jaguars tradition of taking the D lineman in the first round. I think they're going to go with Derrick Brown right here from Auburn.
Okay, cool.
Yes, they do.
I'll say if you're ready with the 10th pick, ready to pick. so much talent. They probably the most underachieved team last year.
Yeah.
Came in with a lot of this.
And then a lot of this.
But they do have some pieces right now. So, where do you go out there?
Yeah, I think that I feel like you're right. Like they were supposed to be like the Cinderella team. Like everybody was like, oh man, the Browns will be so good. They got this, they got this, they got that, and they did nothing. I think a lot of it, like we said, all goes back to the offensive line for them. If Baker is the guy that they're going to go with, again, I feel like they need to make sure that they're protecting him. So I went with Jedrick Willis, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Okay. Right.
I went offensive line here too. I had them taking Mekhi Becton right here, old tackle from Louisville. Again, got to protect Baker, running for his life last year. And then I think this would allow Jack Conklin to stay at right tackle so they can shore up that offensive line a little bit.
Same thing. I'm going Andrew Thomas, so I'm going offensive tackle too. Yeah, at least that way, they won't get burned as much about Baker taking forever to make a decision back there. They could block a little bit better. I don't think people realize how much help on the offensive line they lost in the trade for Odell. Everybody saw the flashy name, and you saw what they missed last year was the kind of lesser known name guys doing the more important job. Yeah, they were lacking up front.
Rotation players kind of matter, especially in football.
Man,
Brandon, you never pick the New York Jets. Who do you feel is best for now?
All right, this where it starts to get fun. I got them going with Jerry Jeudy from Alabama right here. It's the top of this receiver class is thick. And it's maybe like 3 guys you could pick right here as the first 2 to go off the board. I think they take Jeudy in this position. Probably the most polished right now, so might as well get him up out of there while you can.
Yeah, I agree, especially with them losing Roby, however he says his name, him being at the top, and they didn't really have too much after him. So wide receiver is another big position for them to fill. As there is another team that I like to know that needs a wide receiver, but I digress. But yeah, I agree. Jeudy from Alabama.
All right, I'm going opposite here. Their front 7 was kind of solid last year. The dudes on the outside were trash. Everybody not named Brian Poole was bad. You got Jamal Adams, who's very good at his job. I would take a wild guess and say he'd probably be he'd be even more better at his job if the guys around him could hold up a little bit better. I think Brian Poole is one of the better slot corners in the league. They got Pierre Desir in free agency. Who I think is it's a big physical corner. So I'm going with another big physical corner. You pair C.J. Henderson with Desir and Brian Poole. I feel like you got yourself a little secondary with Jamal Adams out there.
All right. Okay. The Las Vegas Raiders. That don't sound like
Man, it's about as bad as the Los Angeles Chargers. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, who you go with?
All right, I'll go here. I'm gonna follow up what happened with the Raiders and Mike Mayock's first draft, where the first guy he picked wasn't as good as the second guy he picked. I'm gonna go CD Lamb here. I feel like it's a West Coast offense, and it feels like they kind of have a type, with Tyrell Williams. I think they like the more physical wide receiver a little bit more. So I'm going CD Lamb from Oklahoma there.
Yeah, I also have CD Lamb there as well. I do think that they like physical wide receivers, and I think with everything that their new coach lost within the first couple of years, that they are also one of those teams that are trying to replenish the players that they've lost. So yeah, I definitely agree with CD Lamb from Oklahoma.
I'm gonna go for the trifecta. I had CD Lamb right here as well. Just like they said, big, physical, prototypical receiver that they kind of gravitate towards.
All right. Okay, with the 13th pick,
Hey.
is the love San Francisco 49ers.
Hey. Yeah, I could go first. I'm chilling.
Nah, I really want to hit with you.
Oh man. So like, you know, you make the trade for DeForest Buckner, bless his soul. Thank you for the 4 years of service. But you know, you lost the Super Bowl because you couldn't land haymakers with Patrick Mahomes. Gotta go get you some toys, right? You can slow him down for 3 quarters, but if you're putting 3 up instead of 7, doesn't matter, does it? Jerry Jeudy. I've been going back and forth between the two Bama dudes. I don't really have a huge preference, but I think Jeudy would be the difference. Whereas like Emmanuel Sanders was the only dude they had last year that could kind of, you could isolate on the other team's best corner that could win one-on-one. Debo, I don't think is there yet, and I'm sure he'll get there, but why force that development? Like let Debo be who Debo is going to be. And if you get Jeudy, man, he reminds me of I've been calling him like dark skin Odell for a minute for me. He reminds me of Odell like so much, but more so like his feet. It reminds me of Ocho a little bit. I don't think he's there because Ocho Cinco's feet were just stupid. Chad Johnson's release game was on a whole different world, but as a prospect coming out, this is as good as it gets in terms of creating separation. And Shanahan kind of gets off on that kind of thing. So
I went with a Bama receiver here too. I had them taking the speedster, Henry Ruggs the third right here. Just another guy to stretch the field and make some room for Kittle.
Octavia.
As much as it hurts me to say, but nah, I went with the speedster Henry Ruggs the third as well because, like you said, losing Sanders, even though people would say he's past his prime or whatever, he's an older wide receiver at this point, but he was that one threat that y'all had. And speaking about Debo as well, I do agree. I feel like he will get there as well. But as of now, I feel like he's like short field. You know, he's not really opening the top off the defense. So, I mean, Jimmy has an arm. You know, we know he can throw it. So I would be interested to see him have somebody that could actually, you know, take the top off the defense. But I agree. But like Wilson said, it's pretty much either Bama wide receivers would have been good for them.
Okay. The 14th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a new quarterback in mind. So
I might have heard of him.
I'm kind of familiar with them. Yeah.
Right. So who do you think they go?
Yeah, I think, you know, you get a flashy new toy under center. You got to keep him safe. So I think they go Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle from Georgia right here.
You definitely got to keep the old man safe as well because he is a flashy new toy, but he is old too, and he might break easily. So same position, different person. I got them taking Mekhi Becton from Louisville.
Same position, different person because of all the tackles I think y'all chose already. The only one I had kind of left, I was a toss-up for me between Josh Jones out of Houston and Austin Jackson out of USC. But either way, that line wasn't very good. And Tom isn't exactly running away from anything. You better protect the boy. You got to protect the man. Otherwise, you won't be able to use your other shiny toys. And Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and OJ Howard. So yeah, it's common sense here.
Okay. My beloved Broncos are up next.
Sure.
Who you picking?
Ooh, I want to go first on the Broncos. All right. No. Look, so at least on my board, right? I had Jeudy gone. I had CD Lamb gone. We're giving the young boy the type of weapon they haven't had in quite a while that goes downfield at a supersonic rate. I got Ruggs going to Denver. I don't think he's getting past Denver because that's the one thing they're missing from their offense to open that entire thing up.
Right.
Yeah, because they got all the other guys. Yep, you got all the intermediate stuff. You get that thing. And the other reason I don't think that he passes the Broncos. If you're the Broncos and you're in the AFC, what's your biggest nightmare? If you pass on Ruggs at 15 and you know who finds a way to come up to 16 and they add him to their 4x1 relay team.
They got these on their team that can teleport off his name.
That's the what was that? The greatest show on turf.
Man,
That'd be part 2.
that's the fastest show on turf. Oh, that. But who y'all got for the Broncos?
So I was on the same wavelength as you, Wilson, but since I had the holy trinity of receivers gone by this point, I think the Broncos go defense and get Javon Kinlaw
Okay.
from South Carolina right here. I mean, that never hurts to have a nasty dude on the interior. So I think that's what they do with their pick.
Uh-huh.
I actually did the same thing. I could see y'all using Ruggs. If there were 2 of them, it would be amazing. But yeah, I also went with Javon Kinlaw though. The tackle for South Carolina.
Gotta get the Mahomes, though. Gotta get the Mahomes.
Man, you got to. Otherwise, you're in trouble. But we're going to take a quick break. We got the 15, knocked all that out that quick, pretty much on schedule. Cardell, you seem kind of happy about the possible addition of one Henry Ruggs III, sir. Hopefully it holds up.
Yeah, because it always worked.
Finally doing something.
Finally working.
Hey, he been at this man's neck for since he got there.
No, he passed on the ball, though.
No, I don't. No, I don't blame you. I told you. Look, man.
Flacco was on some. They thought the opposite needed to get a check. So
You're watching the Focus TV. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to be picking up with the 16th pick, which is the Atlanta Falcons. See you guys on the other side of the break. All right, folks, welcome back. Thank you guys for hanging with us tonight on, the format in which the show is going to have to be for until this thing is over. But Cardell, the 16th overall pick in the 2020 Focus NFL mock draft belongs to the Atlanta Falcons.
yes, sir. About to go ahead and get it started.
All right. Yeah. So for the Falcons, just keep losing things on defense. It's like a habit. For some reason, you're in a division where everybody plays fast on offense, and you don't have things. This is probably literally my favorite defensive back in the draft. Personally, I'd hate for him to go there and just perish, but you want nice things because you need nice things. Christian Fulton, defensive back out of LSU. I think he's one of the guys that doesn't get a lot of credit. We were talking about, Ruggs and Judy and stuff like that. So I've been watching people break down a lot of film of those two. And one of the things they always keep going back to the LSU game and, LSU games. LSU got a bunch of NFL caliber corners. And I know Stingley gets a lot of credit. Christian Fulton was a dude that I saw, and he pretty much made the mark for me. And I know everyone loves Akuda, but this, like I said, he's my personal favorite. The man was pressed against Ruggs with no panic in his heart about that 4.2 speed, because technically he was with all of that. No smoke, no problems, no issues. Ruggs he got targeted once over there. He had his fun with other folks, but it wasn't happening over there. So that's the type of dude after you lose, oh my goodness, what's the dude's name? Is it Trufant? That was in Atlanta for a while, Desmond Trufant, who I think was really solid and underrated and didn't get credit for, being good at his job. I think this is the kind of same type of thing where you get somebody who's really good at their job. That's not, that doesn't come with the fanfare.
All right, I'll tell you.
I also went on the defensive side for them. I think that they really need a big defensive presence because, like I said with the Redskins, I don't feel like a lot of people fear Atlanta defense at all. So I went with an outside linebacker from LSU and Taylor Hawks.
Okay, Raymond.
Yeah, I went with Kayla Chasing as well. They're up front, they're bad everywhere except outside of Grady Harris. So I think pairing them two together it'll help them. And I thought about them going cornerback too, but if you can get pressure up front, that kind of eases the tension for the outside guys a little bit. So yeah, that's why I had them going right there.
Okay, with the 17th pick, I'll tell you his favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys on the clock.
For me, and again, I have to be as unbiased as possible, but when it comes to my division, but I think that on the offensive side, I won't say set because I don't feel like they are ever really set, but I feel like they have good pieces in place. You know, they got Dak who's going to be there. They re-signed Cooper. You know, they got Zeke. They're, you know, I don't know if Old Man Witness coming back. I can't remember. But, you know, they still have a guy after them, and I can't think of his name right now. Swain, I think it is. But neither here nor there. I think they need to go on the defensive side. I feel like their corners got pretty much burned all year. And trust me, I know what burn looks like because our corners got burned all year as well. So I know I keep it real. So I went with CJ Henderson, cornerback from Florida. I think they need some help back there.
Hey, she said dudes went out the night before they played up, right?
And still 8.
Like 5 in the morning, they chilling, man. You good?
Yeah, man.
So they showed up at game time and had themselves a game. Oh my God.
We going to the party.
It was over there on the sideline like Alabama's wide receivers betting on the routes.
We're going too far.
Hey, who got what assignment? Oh man, Crib. Huh? Oh, yeah, for the Cowboys. There's like 90,000 holes on defense. So just keeping it honest. I wrestled with this because I thought they should take a safety because you know, the great Jeff Heath is no longer there. No, they need a safety. They keep having random dudes play safety, and they're horrible. Their last good safety was probably, I'm not even trying to be funny, might have been Roy Williams. Like, like for real.
He was younger than Darren?
Yeah. He was after Darren. Yeah.
He was out there. It was It was Roy Williams.
Yeah. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I tell you, your team's in that division. When's the last time they had anybody back there where you were like, oh no. Exactly. You think every deep ball against Dallas is good. And they lost
It was, though.
Oh, wow.
you lost Byron Jones. And I thought about corner, but like we've been saying, you got to get pressure. I think they lost Robert Quinn, and you got to have a speed rusher opposite Tank Lawrence. Otherwise, you just wasting Tank Lawrence's life. So I'm going with the guy y'all just talked about for the Falcons, and Chason, the edge rusher from LSU.
Right.
All right. I don't think we ever discussed this, and I probably chose the perfect time to bring this up. We have each other's presence, but Dallas is actually my football team.
Everybody leave and come back later.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Whew. So for your team, who's your pick? Because I missed it. I walked away. So this is why we've been so quiet during football conversations. He's been ominously quiet during all football conversations.
Real quiet.
It makes so much sense.
Oh my God.
He ain't say nothing.
He just voted in the mouth.
This
I had no idea.
is exactly why I don't leave this
I ain't seen a keychain. I ain't seen a hat.
Right. Are you even fulfilling like Are you fulfilling the Cowboys laws of fans? Like no keychains, no Super Bowl. What is wrong with you?
When you tell people you're a Cowboys fan, they automatically think you're one of those obnoxious Cowboys fans. And I don't have time for that.
That's fair. Who you pick for your team, man? Your team.
Yeah, like
your team.
like y'all said, defense is horrible. They were burnt toast last year. So I actually had them taking Christian Fulton right here.
Okay.
To fill the void Brown Jones.
Yep.
I thought about safety as well. I wrestled with McKinney from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if your best corner walks, you gotta replace. So I went for Christian Fulton.
All right, what we're gonna do? We're gonna speed it up a little bit. We got a few more picks. It's already on 8:50. 18 pick Miami Dolphins. You got what's up?
We got Josh Jones from Houston. I wrestled with them going with a running back right here, but I think they're gonna let Jordan Howard do his thing, and then they just get somebody to get him some space.
Wilson.
Xavier McKinney, Bama. You got those two high-priced corners on the outside. Go get you somebody on the back end. To join them either in run support. And McKinney's one of those guys where like I feel like people are disrespecting the heck out of the safeties that played in the SEC right now, and I really don't understand why. There's a lot of love for some of the safeties, and projected second, third round picks, which is nothing wrong with that. But we're literally like, oh, hey, you play safety at Alabama. Who cares? When in past years, there's been lesser talent that played safety at Alabama. And we're like, crown them. So, but I think he'd be a good fit, and it's not bad. Keep drafting winners. More winners you can get in the building usually lead to good things.
I agree with Raymond. I also went with excuse me. I also went with Josh Jones, offensive tackle from Houston for the reasons he said as well. I think that it starts with our offensive line to protect. So yeah.
All right, for the 19th pick, Las Vegas Raiders again. Go ahead. What's up with you? I'm
going Patrick Queen, LSU linebacker. I think this is going to be a pick that's better than Mayock's first pick. They seem like they want to inject speed into their front seven. This is the type of guy with speed I'm not worried about at all. Get a chance to coach him up. He should be able to fit right in.
I'll tell you.
Same position, different team. I went with Kenneth Murray, inside linebacker from Oklahoma. Same reasons. They need that presence. So I also agree with that. Different.
Right.
I went with Kenneth Murray right here as well. Earlier they addressed the whole on offense right here. They situate themselves on defense a little bit.
Jacksonville Jaguars are back up to the 20th pick. I'll tell you.
Again, I think the big focus was. I still feel like part of this. It's hard for me to make the choice. It depends on if they're really going to go with Minshew as their guy. If they're not going to really focus on trying to fill the position after they paid all that money to Nick Foles. Now Nick Foles is no longer there. If Minshew's going to be their guy, he's going to be their guy. Then I think they need to address the defensive side. So I went with defensive end. The third growth and make coach from Texas State.
Right.
I went C.J. Henderson right here. Man, in the span of 2 years, they went from one of the best cornerback tandems in the league to not having either one of them. So I think they drafted a cornerback.
I'm going Antoine Winfield out of Minnesota. Can do some again, I hope y'all listen to this closely. Honey Badger-like things where you can play safety, can cover, do a whole lot of things like quiet is kept. I know they lost a lot of talent at cornerback last 2 years, but the two dudes who filled in last year weren't horrible. I think you look more horrible when the stuff behind you is equally bad or worse. That means you can't mess up at all. Anytime someone breaks the rules of your defense, you're SOL, and there's no trust. But I know Grant Delpit's available here, but I think you go with the guy from a cover standpoint where he can just do so many different little things where He could play your nickel sometimes. He could play deep. He could play single high. You can move him around, do all sorts of fun stuff. And plus, some people are just down on Grant Delpit right now. I'm going Antoine with it.
Philadelphia Eagles are back up. Go ahead, take it off.
So everybody knows our biggest need as of now. We have started addressing the defensive side. If we need a wide receiver, we need a wide receiver yesterday. So at the 21st pick, I pulled Justin Jefferson, wide receiver from LSU. The biggest thing about him that I love is his hands. You know, I feel like that was our biggest thing with the wide receivers that we did have, was a lot of drop balls. I mean, that's really much it, because I feel like we had decent wide receivers for the most point, but the fact that they couldn't catch the ball, you know, just kills everything. So hopefully, since we missed that on DK last year, so a little bit salty about that. Actually very, very salty about DK. But hopefully we will be able to be poised enough to get Jefferson at some point.
Question, Octavia.
Yes,
When
sir.
they had dropped those passes, if Nate had thrown
If Nate had thrown them, they would have never been in the area of the ball, okay?
disrespect is real for my man. Watch what you do. I'm gonna be quiet. Watch it.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you do.
You get in? We'll see.
Who is?
Week 5.
They practices?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we got. Week 5, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, y'all go again. I'm not even going to I'm not messing with y'all.
I got them going receiving right here too, but I have Denzel Mims from Baylor getting snatched at this point. Nice size, great athleticism. I think he'll be ready to be a top target at the NFL level.
Yeah, I'm going with Jefferson too. I think people continue to overlook people that are really good at what they do because there's no flash with it. And I think the Eagles, I'll give them benefit of the doubt here. I think it's a layup. I don't think you can mess this one up. I know Mims is on the board and I do like Mims, but some of the things with Mims, like you got to wait for some of the things to round out. I think Jefferson, again, man, you in the SEC, you play against NFL corners in practice, you beat them in conference play. He's about that life. He's ready to go. And I think the biggest thing for everybody, I think should like put the fears away, was the 4.4 he ran. You know, everyone's like, oh, he's slow. I keep trying to tell people sometimes, like, the better you are as an athlete, you don't look like you're trying. It's not that you're slow. It's just easy. You're gliding. Like, he's open. How many times on tape do you have to watch? He's open. I don't care what he tested in track time. He's open. He was open for however many years he was in school. He was open. So, yeah.
Right on. Minnesota Vikings for the 22nd. You guys are going to
This is funny just because they just got his older brother up out of there. But due to needs, Trayvon Diggs out of Alabama, because you ain't got no corners. You ain't got none. 0. They're all gone.
I went wide receiver T. Higgins from Clemson. Stephon Diggs. You know, feeling is a good one, but I still think they're going to need somebody to be opposite of him. So I went Higgins.
I went receiver too, but I got them taking Jalen Rager.
Yep.
Right here. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Stephon Diggs, but he has a Stephon Diggs-like skill set, which it'll be easier to plug them into what they do offensively.
Okay. And the 23rd pick is the New England Patriots. They ranked first in defense last year. Defensive efficiency. Pretty good on that end. They lost Tom Brady. Where do they go? Where do y'all go with them?
Hey, man, this one hurt. I went through like 15 different people. I just updated during the break. I'm not going to lie. So just because bad teams do bad things, I got Javon Kinlaw falling in New England. He's going to get one of these defensive pieces he had no business having his hands on that could play all across that front seven because it's just happened that way since he's been in New England. People just let things that they don't need fall there. So that's what I'm going with.
Well, I think they need
go ahead.
I think they need a quarterback. You know, they I just think they do. They have to start over, not over again, but they're gonna need a quarterback. So I went with Jordan Love out of Utah State.
Same here. I got them getting Jordan Love right here. He's raw, but I think old Hoodie up there can do some things with him.
Belichick. If he can't, nobody
He
can.
can't nobody. Straight up. All right. 24 pick. Do all these things go up. I think where they go.
I got them going cornerback right here. Trayvon Diggs. Pairing him with Marshawn Lattimore.
I'll go ahead. I'll tell you.
My bad. I agree. Different player. So I think they go cornerback as well. Like you said, have my opposite of Lattimore. But I put Christian Fulton.
All right, same thing, different person. I went AJ Terrell from Clemson there. I think the only reason I didn't go wide receiver, you just gave Emmanuel Sanders some money to do the things that one of these kids at that position probably isn't ready to come in and do immediately. So, yeah.
All right, with the 25th pick, Minnesota Vikings, we're going to start with you, right?
I got them getting Xavier McKinney right here. I know they need some other things. Really need help on the O-line and that corner as well, but the value just isn't there at this pick. So they go ahead and snatch up the best safety in the draft.
All right. Okay.
All right, I'm going this is where I have T. Higgins going. Because my first pick with the Vikings a little earlier, I went defense with Trayvon Diggs. Go T. Higgins here. Where something a little bit different than Thielen, where Higgins is known for being able to get open downfield. You got Thielen, your consistent route runner. You know, you're always on time guy. And you let Higgins just grow into his role out there. You need another weapon because after Thielen, it looks dark out there at wide receiver. It looks real dark out there.
Yeah, I went on the defensive side, but I feel like that they need some more defensive pressure. I think I like Hendricks out there. I like a couple of pieces that they have, but I think that they would do well with another defensive tackle. So I went with Rob Blade.
Okay.
Okay, with the 26th pick, Miami Dolphins are back up. Go ahead, take this one.
I'm going with AJ Epineza out of Iowa. Just his versatility. I know they're in a 3-4, but you know, Flores is a New England guy. That defense probably gonna be multiple in the front. We don't know. And he's the guy where I think he could fit both fronts, regardless. And just I think it's an easier plug and play option for what they need at the moment when considering the money that they spent in other positions on defense.
All right, I'll tell you.
I agree. I definitely think that AJ Epinesa would be a great fit there for all of the reasons that Wilson just said, actually. I think that, you know, he'll plug in really well with their defensive fit, and just to have somebody of that nature would, you know, work well in their defensive flow.
I think they're going to go with the Key to a Safe campaign right here. So Cesar Ruiz from Michigan, offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, with the 27th pick, Seattle Seahawks, the ever dangerous Seattle Seahawks. Octavia, let's start with you.
Ever dangerous Seahawks. Excuse me. I think that they also, they're kind of set. I think that they really need to get a running back, though. In my opinion, I feel like with everything that they went through last year with running backs being injured, bringing back Marshawn, who knows if Marshawn's actually going to play again. So I went with Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin.
Right.
I got them going defense right here. Antoine Winfield Jr., a safety from Minnesota. Try to bring that Legion of Boom back.
Don't you wish things like that on me, man. It's already tough out there. Even though what I'm about to say also hurts me, whether they retain Clowney or not. Another edge player, Yetur Gross-Matos out of Penn State. Seattle's look big, yeah. They got a couple of them things over there in Penn State. He just seems like a Seahawk, man. Just long, rangy, annoying, stays off of blocks. He seems like a headache, and it just felt like the perfect pick for me for the Seahawks. So, Yeah.
With the 28th pick, Baltimore Ravens, they've been going to work and good goal.
Man.
They don't need nothing.
All right. I wanted to go first on this one just because with the Patriots, talk about good teams, like just teams that draft well, when things just fall to them, and some people just feel like Patriots or Ravens. Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma, because people put too much disrespect on this man's name, and I think he play everything at linebacker. He just seems like a Ravens. Go blitz, go cover. Yeah. And I couldn't decide between him or Kinlaw for the Patriots or the Ravens. So, yeah.
They got just the guy to come in.
Yeah, don't they? Don't they? They have a couple guys. Yeah.
I went a little bit more conservative. I feel like Baltimore already has a lot of good pieces pretty much everywhere. So I went for offensive guard in the same.
I got them going running back right here. I got DeAndre Swift from Georgia. Just seeing what happened last year when England missed a few games. And just think they'll have a contingency plan in place and also get a possible 3-down guy for the future.
No. The 29th pick, we have the Tennessee Titans. So should we start? Go ahead, I'll tell you. Go take this.
For the Tennessee Titans, I got them actually on safety with Grant Delpit. I felt like that they're starting to kind of get solid on the offensive side. Mike Vrabel is doing a great job with them out there. So I think it's kind of more so for them to, focus on the defensive side. And I think a safety is a great pickup for them.
I got them going up front right here. Your third Gross Matos, edge rusher from Penn State. Just prototypical NFL guy off the end. They're pretty solid everywhere. Look like they're built for long-term success.
You lost Jarrell Casey, so I'm going Ross Blaylock, defensive tackle from TCU. I know you got Simmons, a young boy, and going to be promising, but you got to deal with getting after Mahomes. You can't have enough defensive tackles and defensive ends up front because you can't afford to get gassed against those guys. Need the depth up front.
I know we have 3 picks enough. Green Bay Packers. The 30th pick.
I got them going receiver, Justin Jefferson from LSU. Just giving Aaron Rodgers another weapon, which they need to play with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, Octavia.
I talked too fast. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I got the same thought that I think they need a wide receiver to play off for Devontae. So I just went with Denzel Mims. I think.
All right. I also went wide receiver, but I went to with Laviska Shenault. And the only reason I went with Laviska Shenault is because, Green Bay's head coach used to be in San Fran. Try to give them a Debo in their offense. So that's the only reason I went there.
San Francisco up again.
Hey.
Let him go first.
So horrible. Disclaimer, I don't expect them to still have that pick. I think that pick's going to get flipped for second and thirds or whatever. But for giggles, let's say they have it. Grant Delpit ends his slide at 31.
Yeah, I think similar, but I went with a cornerback, Cameron Dantzler out of Mississippi State. I think you can never have too many good cornerbacks, especially as much as we see how many they get hurt every year. So you can never have too many good ones. If you, like you said, if you guys still have the pick at that point, wouldn't hurt.
Like Wilson, I really don't expect them to keep this pick. I think they'll flip it, but for the sake of continuity here, if they keep it, I think they go Ross Blacklock from TCU. As we know, they just got rid of Buckner, so they'll look for somebody to plug in at that spot.
All right, and the team who's everyone is chasing, Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs with the 32nd pick. Where do you see them
I'm going DB here because you just lost Kendall Fuller to the Redskins, and we don't know if you're going to lose Breland either. Not to the Redskins, but just period, right? And it's cheap labor, free labor, not free labor, but cheap labor for 3-4 years. Out on the secondary, I'm going with Jeff Gladney out of TCU.
I got them taking AJ Epinesa from Iowa right here because if he's there, why not?
And last but not least, I have AJ Terrell, cornerback from Clemson. Again, never have so many cornerbacks. And we already kind of know Kansas City pretty much set on the other side of the ball. So, and they're kind of set on their side too. But if they still have that pick as well, it couldn't hurt.
All right. Well, that was nerve-wracking to prepare for. I would love this say it in a better way, but it wasn't. Hope you guys enjoyed it though. Hopefully some of these picks come to fruition for your respective teams. Yeah, because I'm over here with fingers crossed. Just one of the Bama boys. I don't care which one. Just need one in the fall of 13. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's like I said, in the midst of this crisis where, everyone's being asked to stay indoors. This is the way that we're going to be engaging with you folks from here on out. So thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Rodney as always, and the good folks at Studio 202. We'll catch you guys next week, same time, same place. This has been the Focus TV.